これはんゲームの音がしない。ゲームの音がしない。スピーカーか。あ、で、これ。ちょっと待って。音声が、ミキサーが。なるほど。音が聞こえないと思ったら、これでいけるか。ちょっと待って、シャーローク。音声切り替えてなかったから何も聞こえなかった。こっちは OK。二重に起動しないのかな。大丈夫。大丈夫そう。前回はブラックピーターの事件を解決して。
Holmes, please call a cab while I pack my suitcase. We shall be late for the train.
辻馬車って何ですか?
My archive. I can always consult with it.
森内の復讐。元船長だったピーター・キャリー、ブラックピーターとしても知られている怪奇な殺人事件が解決した。キャリーの元捕鯨者の一人、パブロ・コペントラオがピーター・キャリーの殺人犯だとスコットランドヤードの信頼すべき筋から得た証拠によって決定づけられた。しかしながら法的な裁判を行うことはできなかった。コペントラオはすでに死亡していた自然死だった。だが彼の死は恐ろしい罪と犯した後悔と自責の念が原因だったのかもしれない。
This is where I keep my post.
これ前回のあれだね。結論から出たやつだ。
Watson, I'll hold a cab for us. We leave in 5 minutes for the station.
What a gloomy night. It was warmer inside the waiting hall.
Since the station master told us that the train is about to arrive, we should not have to wait very much longer.
Yes, at last.
Attention! The train is arriving at the station. Please stand well away from the platform edge.
I'll take your bags and your blasted archive suitcase. But, Holmes, the headlight. It's faded away.
Something is wrong. I can't hear any sound from the incoming train.
Excuse me, sir. Can you explain what has happened?
I don't know. It's as if the train vanished into thin air.
Holmes, say something.
Quick, fetch a lantern and let us take a look.
あんまりシャーロックが
It's too dark.
外に出歩くイ
Only
メージ
fog
が
and
ない。
rails, nothing else.
There is no use in stumbling around here at night. We will come back tomorrow. Well, here we are again at Evesham Station. We have a full day ahead. Let us begin our investigation.
ここに出ちゃうんだ。
Trains can't just vanish without leaving a trace. It isn't possible.
This map will be useful.
ああ。
What should we do next, Holmes?
まだそんな、あれか。What?
Trains can't just vanish without leaving a trace. It isn't possible.
周りから調べたいたちだ。魚者に話すことはできんと。
First of all, let us examine the area where the train disappeared.
This is the place where we saw the train vanish last night.
A discarded item, possibly thrown from the train.
これは
There are no tracks or footprints on the ground. Railway sleepers, nothing unusual. There are no tracks or footprints on the ground. The rails have not been touched. There's nothing unusual here. There are no signs to indicate that the train ran off the track, nor are there any other traces. There is nothing whatsoever. There are no
なんもない。
clues. But then, a negative result is also a result.
何の結果も
Oh,
残
I
ってない。
see what you're getting at. No clues, and you're smiling.
Yes, Watson, I do smile on occasion. This mystery appears very promising.
楽しそうだな、ホームズ。
The whole train just disappeared.
駅長。
Good morning. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is my friend and colleague, Dr. Watson.
Yes, I remember you. I'm Station Master Everett. You were here last night. So, you are Mr. Holmes, the great detective. Will you be investigating what happened?
I shall indeed.
It is extraordinary that an entire train could disappear like that. And to think of all the poor people inside it, the passengers, the driver.
まずは見ないよう見ましょうね。顔に特に不審な点はなし。白髪の名誉記章。袖汚れてない？既婚者。
Could you please give us any details about the train?
Well, there was nothing so very special about it. At least not that I can recall. My memory's not what it used to be. However, if you need it, you can have the train composition report. It's inside my office.
See you later, my good man.
そうで
The
しょう
entire train has disappeared. It's a disaster.
めっちゃくしゃみしちゃった。いらっしゃーす。一人称してんのが正直見やすい。動かしやすい。
Railway post bags.
一人でに閉まるドアの方が怖くない？ Visitor station, Mr. Robinson is located at
A new telegraph.
I think we should meet this Mr. Robinson.
ブリトリントン。ブリトリントン駅。
Here is the train set.
蒸気機関淡水一等郵便特別貨物列車。何どうしたの？そんな
A telegraph.
電報は特には来てない。バチバチってなかった。
The whole train just disappeared.
そうだね。また演技か。
According to the train composition report, there was a special wagon.
ろくでもない
What
も
does
の入
that
ったじゃない
entail?
の？
That's a highly secure car, ordered by a private party. It is generally to carry something of value. Those wagons have iron walls, you know, without any windows. And they're fitted with a complex key lock.
That is important information. Do you know what was inside this particular wagon?
Certainly not. No, that's private. And it's not my responsibility to allot the wagons to whoever.
乗客は誰がいたんですか？
Was there anything exceptional about any of the passengers aboard the train?
What do you mean? Like officials? I wouldn't know. Oh, but now that you mention it, yes, there was something. There was a message from Bridlington station saying that the train had been delayed because of an issue with the passengers. What kind of problem that they didn't say?
That is interesting.
ブリンドリントン駅。
You mentioned a problem at Bridlington
どこですか？
station. I should like to visit this station.
ブリンドじゃない。
Could you
ブリド
mark
リン
it
トン
on the
駅。
local map?
Of course. It's a suburban railway station. You might take a cab there.
See you later, my good man.
これでブリドリントン駅に行けるようになったと。ここは何ですか？入れる？入れる？ここ入ってないよね。
An old locomotive bell. This part is probably from a locomotive.
機関車の
This place serves as a storage area for the station. This part is probably from a locomotive.
Holmes, how is it even possible for a train to disappear?
So, ブリドリントン駅に行きましょう。ブリドリントン。着きました。ブリドリントン。あ、なんか広そう。お願いします。
Railway post bags.
で、こっちが駅。
The whole train just disappeared. It's unbelievable.
じゃあこっちだ。なんかあそこ行けると思ったんだけど、そうでもない。そうでもないらしい。よす。
This is an absolute scandal. It's always the same with these rail companies. No respect for the customer.
どんな人ですか？服、さあ、 と、指輪。肌が荒いかどうかちょっとわかんないな。
Please calm down, sir. What is your concern?
Concern? What is my concern? I'll tell you what my concern is. Last night I were on the train as usual with my colleague, heading home. Then along came this ridiculous ticket inspector, who started arguing that our tickets were invalid. He made us get off the train, and he was extremely rude about it.
これ、列車
Were you
持ってかれ
aboard
た
the
ん
train that vanished last night?
Yes, I heard that it disappeared. But I don't care because we would have stopped before then anyway. Our tickets were valid and no doubt about it. And then, to top it all, the ticket inspector pushed everyone else out too, except for a bunch of rich. Well, because their type don't need a ticket.
金持ち。ほう。
Can you recall anything more specific about this fortunate group?
Well, yes. They were all foreigners. Spanish-looking toffs with snake eyes.
Goodbye, sir.
It's a scandal! An absolute outrage!
ロビンソンさん、ロビンソンだったらよくない？
Good day to you, gentlemen. How may I help you?
Good day to you, sir.
列
My
車が
name
消え
is
たんで
Sherlock
すけ
Holmes.
ど、
I am investigating the unfortunate disappearance of last night's train.
I see. I'm Station Master Bertram, but my supervisor has not informed me about this. I do not know if...
Do not worry. I have only a few questions.
見た目を見ましょう。若くて、バッジは特に関係ないか。と、
Station Master Everett from Evesham told us that you reported a problem with some passengers last night.
Indeed. This train is a regular line for those who work at Nottingham. But yesterday, everyone was asked to get off the train here at my station. I've no idea why, and it delayed the train. But the worst of it is that now I have to deal with two furious passengers who are complaining about the company's service. They stayed here the whole night, but people do not usually pay much attention to the regulations, you see. There are very strict and clear rules. Paragraph 234 of Article 2G-43 states that in the event of a complaint, you must...
Yes, thank you. I understand. Apart from the passengers disembarking, did you notice anything else that was unusual last night?
I did. And I mentioned it in my report to our higher management on the matter.
What was it?
Sorry, but I can't tell you. The station master's reports are confidential.
Confidential, you say? How long have you been working here?
I have worked here long enough to be quite capable of managing a railway station.
Yeah.
Let me speak frankly, Mr. Bertram. Your age and your lack of confidence in your position are quite apparent. You cannot deny that you have only recently completed your studies.
I was at the top of my class.
Listen here, young man. I am aware that you wish to protect yourself behind all these regulations, but I represent the law.
And you are obstructing the investigation of an important case. I would suggest that you cooperate with Mr. Holmes. Think of your career.
Ah, that is... Well, I'll tell you everything. First of all, I scolded the ticket inspector, for it was he who asked the passengers to leave the train. It was not his right to do so. He was very rude. And then, later on, I received a most peculiar telegram from my colleague at Chesterfield Station, the next stop along the line.
What did the telegram say?
Well, that was the peculiar thing. It was almost unreadable. It was full of errors and awfully vague. It was hard to understand if the train had correctly passed that station or not. You can read it for yourself.
We ought to visit Chesterfield Station. We need to confirm if the station master saw the train or not.
打ち明け足。なんだろうね。打ち明け。
A telegraph.
これなんだ。
The insurance policy for Robinson's machine. A significant sum.
ほう。あ、いいの手に入れたね。チェスターフィールドに行くようになった。ロビンソンさん、ちょっとお尋ねしたいことが。
Good day to you, sir.
Good day. To whom am I speaking?
My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is...
Are you a representative of this damned railway company? Because I have a complaint.
We are not from the railway company. We are...
Well, in that case, Mr. Shamrock Flomes, please excuse me, but I'm not in the mood for idle chit-chat at the moment.
わあ、クソ親父の匂いがする。高そうな服。うわ、趣味悪。蛇の靴。ワニか。ワニかは。
You must be Mr. Robinson, is that correct?
Yes?
I am leading the investigation of the disappearing train. It would help if you could answer my questions.
Ah, well, all right. I have nothing to hide.
I presume it was you who placed the order for the special wagon.
Yes. It was to transport my valuable prototype safely to London. My prototype is a revolutionary device. It is capable of producing electricity. I'm a businessman and an engineer. I had already found several potential customers for my invention. But I was very optimistic about the directors' board who were travelling on the train last night.
You mentioned a director's board. Which company do they own?
The Chilean Barcazes Company. I had made an appointment with them. Now they are lost, along with the train and my prototype.
What do you know about the Barcazes Company?
It's a large South American company. They showed a great deal of interest in my prototype, and they seemed wealthy enough to do business with.
それは本当に実在する会社ですか。
This revolutionary machine of yours, was it very valuable?
For God's sake, sir, it is priceless. It could change the world we live in. And yet, I was selling it for almost nothing. I am a humanitarian, you see. I do not know if I will ever be able to get over this disaster. I cannot believe that it disappeared with that damned train.
列車に乗っていた。
Mr. Robinson, could you please clarify? Were you traveling alongside your prototype?
Yes, I was. But I had to step off the train. And all because of this stupid station master.
I received a telegram declaring that an important person, a Mr. Bromsby, wished to see you in the waiting room. I merely
Bromsby.
informed you of this.
Mr. Bromsby is a wealthy gentleman. His interest in my invention was truly unexpected. So yes, of course, I agreed to see him. Unfortunately, he wasn't there. I thought perhaps he might have been delayed, so I chose to wait a while. But despite my requests, the train left the station without me.
これは
Absolutely
パクってきましたね。
unacceptable.
The timetable is strict. We cannot wait any longer. The regulations require the train to be on time.
You are an idiot. You will pay for it. I will sue you.
According to this document, you have insurance for your prototype.
Oh, thank God. Where did you find it?
near the telegraph station.
I must have lost it when I tried to send a message, which I was prevented from doing.
I apologize for that, but regulations state that public access to the telegraph is strictly prohibited.
Upon my word, you keep on digging that hole of yours. You have no idea who I am.
I see that you kept your grip sack with you. Why don't you leave it in the luggage room?
I've had other things to think about. I lost my prototype. And this idiot station master just stands here doing nothing to help.
Oh, but...
Well, that won't do at all. Station Master, I believe that the regulations state that any passenger luggage should be taken to the luggage room.
I'll do it right away, sir. Sorry, sir.
This Robinson is quite a character. We should learn more about him. The ticket inspector forced all the passengers from the train except for
バ
the
ールか出す
directors
と
of
き
the
出す。はい、これは
Barcazes
繋がっ
Chilean
てる
Company.
ね。絶対
I
繋が
will
ってるよ。
not move from here until I receive my refund.
えーっと。これ残されたって考えるのが自然じゃない？私自分の推理そんなに自信ないからな。
It's a scandal! An absolute outrage!
推理物一発で成功した記憶がない。なんかあるかな。かまんだ。ちょっと失礼
This
しますよ。
grip sack belongs to Mr. Robinson.
I think we should open it, Holmes. This is what they call force majeure. I'll keep watch.
Of course.
ピッキングのミニゲームが始まるね。知ってた。ちょっと
Look,
拝見し
Watson,
ますよ。
a bundle of contracts. Very suspicious. We should study them carefully. An exclusive sales
独占
contract.
販売契約書。トーマス・ロビンソ
Mr.
ン
Robinson
が
is the seller.
売り手で、金の10分前割れ。他は特にないか。独
Yet
占販売
another
契約書。
exclusive sales contract.
あれおかしくない？
Mr. Robinson is the seller.
独占
Yet
販
another
売契約
exclusive
書多く
sales
ない？
contract. Mr. Robinson is the seller.
あら、
Yet another exclusive sales
あ
contract.
らあら、
Mr. Robinson is the seller.
これ
Well,
は
it is very clear that this Mr. Robinson received
独
prepayments
占
from
販売
various
じゃ
people
な
for
いで
his
すね。
machine.
よくないですね。あれ繋がんない？ 害者っちゃ被害者だけど、
I'm always wondering what's on your mind, Holmes.
やってることは小ずるいね。ね、ロビ
I
ンソ
will
ンさん。
not move from here until I receive
はい
my
はい
refund.
はいはい。なんもない。ゴミ箱はなんもないと。じゃあちょっと先にチェストフィールド行きますか。チェストフィールドトレインステーション。
This Robinson fellow seems suspicious to me.
ロビンソンが怪しいとは私も思ってるよ。
This bin is full of empty bottles.
怪しいかまあ怪しい。犯人
A fishing
っていう意味
advertisement.
の怪しいではないけど、何してんだろうなみたいな怪しさはあるよね。モールス信号は
I had thought that all station masters knew the Morse code, but apparently not.
モールス
A
は
telegraph.
覚えてないな。なんかありますか？何食べかけの食事と飲んだくれの液晶。
How could he fall asleep at work like this? Excuse me, sir. Wake up. Ah, his breath. He must have swallowed half a distillery.
And that explains the how.
By his sleeping off the alcohol, you mean? Wake up, please,
Huh?
sir.
What? The 18-hour 72 train has arrived?
Good day to you. We are investigating the
酔っ払った状
disappearance
態
of
でま
last
ともな思
night's
考がで
train,
きるんでしょう
and
か。
we should like to ask you a few questions.
まず身なりを見ましょう。人間観察は身なりを見るところから始まります。これは酔ってますね。清潔ない。既婚者多くない？何？日頃から酒飲んでんだこの人。なんかある。
Were there any passengers who got off that particular train at your station last night?
No, nobody, it seems to me. Although I did not leave my office, so...
No doubt you were very busy.
You don't say. You can't ever get any peace around here. Now you have to send a telegram each time a train arrives and departs.
変な伝言が入ってたん
The
ですけど。
station master Bertram from Bridlington showed me a strange telegram that he received from you last night. It concerned
例
the
の列車に
train,
関係してるんです
but
が、
it was
理解
barely
に苦しみまして
comprehensible.
ね。
What? He's a fastidious little twerp, that
いやい
bird.
やい
I remember everything quite clearly. It was
や、
late,
仕事した。
and I
だ
was
からなん
tired,
だ、こ
but
んな
I
ちっ
did
ぽけな
my
こと。
work. So what? There's no need to be so petty.
いやー。酒めっちゃ飲んどるやん。
You were not tired, you were inebriated. Tell me the truth now, or I shall not hesitate to document your state in my report.
My friend means that you will end up by being sacked from your position.
All right. So I was drunk. I don't remember all of yesterday, to be truthful to you. Please don't go harsh on me.
Holmes, this man has consumed a considerable amount of alcohol. He's not entirely helpless yet, but...
It will not be long before he is. Obviously, his testimony cannot be trusted.
Oh, will I ever get any peace?
いつになったら落ち着けるんだ。ほんとね。酔っ払ってた。いやこの駅なんかあるっていうのは多分。こ とね、多分来てないんじゃないかな。こんな状態。お願いします。なんかありますか？ん？荷物と、なんか書類は特に関係ない。いや、私、シャーロックいじってるけど、シャーロックじゃないからさ。思考が読めんだ。ってことは、この中で外か。ドゥー。出ないで。お邪魔します。
A handcar wheelbase. Interesting. It appears that elements of the same construction were scattered everywhere. Watson, please tell me, do you believe in magic?
Of course not, Holmes.
Then you are of the opinion that a train cannot simply disappear.
そもそ
Well,
も
we
列車
both
は
know
来てい
that
なかっ
that is
た。
obvious. Why are you asking such peculiar questions?
A little patience, Watson. You will understand my point quite soon.
手こぎ
So,
で、
are you quite certain that you saw the train at
途中まで。
Evesham Station?
Yes, of course. We saw it coming. The headlights. And heard the whistle.
But that is it. We didn't see the train itself.
But... Oh, Holmes, I'm a little confused.
他なんかない。他なんか、隠しアイテム的なのはないと。
This Robinson fellow seems suspicious to me.
だから、この事件は、こう繋がるんですよ。で日本語訳が微妙に怪しいから。よし、実験だ。
This Robinson fellow seems suspicious to me.
I should use the appropriate object here.
歯車と操作棒と
I should use the appropriate object here.
あ、単焦取れないこれ。
I should use the appropriate object here.
車輪が、そうか、車輪。車輪が足りない。あ、ブレーキ。あとアイテムどこにあるだ？単焦と取れないんだけど。
I should use the appropriate object here.
あ、これか。
So, now here we have the fake train that we saw approaching Evesham Station last night.
Doesn't look much like a train to me.
Be patient, Watson, I haven't finished yet. Try using your imagination. Our train requires only a headlight and a steam whistle.
I'm always wondering what's on your mind, Holmes.
あるものが必要降りちゃった。そう、こいつ。 あともやるだけだ。
I need something long.
長いもの。長いものがいる。長いものだから、まだ中にあったら長いもの。長いもの。消火器。よし。これで。
The long pole is now attached. It will allow us to connect. The headlight is attached. The steam whistle is now connected.
Holmes, what can we do to make the steam whistle work?
It is elementary. The fire extinguisher. Now let us see what... The steam whistle is ready to be used. Watson, I do believe that we have created an exact replica of the train that vanished in front of us last night. The criminal mind can be most inventive. I am somewhat in awe.
So such a thing is possible. If someone went to all the trouble of creating this fake train, then it was surely with the intention of stealing the real one.
Ah, Watson, you should not jump to conclusions. In fact, this does not tell us very much at all, except that the train did not evaporate into thin air.
Although you half suspected it.
Huh. At any rate, we now need to find where the real train might be hidden. I suggest we use my archives to find a more detailed map of our surroundings.
Well, I hope that justifies our having to load your massive archive suitcase onto the cab. It made us extremely unpopular with our driver.
だんだん水路がつながってきたから一回
Locked. There is no sense in asking the station master to open it. We shall have to pick the lock.
ああ、また鍵開けだ。お邪魔します。なんかすごい跡があるんだけど。
These tools were used quite recently. They are still muddy. We should ask about them.
あとなんかある。床の
Bags
傷。
were recently dragged here. French wine, a remarkable vintage.
買収された
These
か。
bottles are too expensive for a station master's wage. They were likely taken from the parcels.
Shameful.
ほう。悪どいね。なかなかやる
A
ね。
fake train. Ha! What a...
駅員さんなかなかやるね。あなた、お酒を抜いたね。
You have quite a number of dirty tools lying around here.
Ah, yes. Well, thank you for reminding me. I should clean them. Although, might be easier to put them outside. Seems it might start raining soon.
I meant, what were they
何に
used
使っ
for?
たんですか？
Some workers come here and borrowed them from me. They wanted to lift the edge of the railway to one of the stations on the line, so that the water wouldn't come in too close.
何の作業員？
Who were these workers?
Well, they didn't seem to be from the company, but they was fine lads. They invited me to share a drink. And whatever it was, it had a kick to it. They wasn't English. No, I don't believe so.
この
But
壁
see,
ダ
they
メ
knew
だ。
just what a man needed to brighten up his dull evening.
そのうち事故起きるよ、ここ。
Ah, will I...
I'm always wondering what's on your mind, Ho.
さて。
Now we have two maps. We must combine them properly.
Hmm? 待て待て待て待て。ああ、これや、こっか。ん違う。ここだ。あ、待って。こ。
Here it is. There is a side branch to the railway. Its first switch is located between Bridlington and Chesterfield stations. There is one more station to be visited. It is located between Chesterfield and Evesham, and there should be a side railway to the nearby quarry. There is a small section of a railway at the end of Evesham station.
3カ所行くところが増えたね。
This suitcase contains my archive.
I'm all.
ってことは、これだったら、まず、分岐から。なんか推理できることはないか。こうでつなげられるか。とりあえずまだ被害者にしておこう。なるほど。
The switch is rusted, but it still works. The switch is rusted, but it still works.
多分電車またこっから出るんじゃないかな。出ないかな。出ちゃうからここでまだ探せるか。探せる。で、ここまで行くとから間の駅に行ってみよう。ハロー。なんだこの柄
A
の。
funny character. He looks anxious.
And he is not an Englishman. This scent is familiar to me, but in order to recognize it, I must combine my associate.
あ、これか。これはね、こうか。こうだ。
A greenish-brown cigar with a strong aroma, a hint of peppermint. Ricardo.
You already know the name of this man? Holmes, you amaze me.
No, Watson, I refer to the cigar. It is a Ricardo Tarrant, a Mexican cigar of an excellent quality. Quite an expensive one, too.
メキシコタバコ。タバコなぁ。吸わないから、高いって言われてもそんなに。
This ashtray is full of ash and cigar stubs. A greenish-brown cigar with a strong aroma, a hint of peppermint. These ashes and cigar stubs are similar to the one that we found on the floor. Some of the stubs were recently smoked. There are others that appear fairly old.
That means that the fellow spent several days here. Judging by his clothes, he's hardly a traveller or a tramp.
Well concluded, my dear fellow. A man who smoked the Ricardo brand of Mexican cigar spent several long days at Doncaster Station. Apparently, there was a conflict between the Mexicans and the Chileans. This ashtray is full of ash and cigar stubs.
灰と灰皿、灰皿、灰でいっぱい。アイテムが増えた。なんか気になるものあります？
Newspaper articles on horse racing. Hurdle, steeplechase and flat racing. He is a true enthusiast, Holmes.
馬券。
Betting slips for horse racing. Betting slips for horse racing.
裏には
The sums are quite impressive.
It can be an expensive vice. This man had probably used all his savings.
金のかかる趣味。
A telegraph.
特に気になるものはなさそう。
Holmes, look. There's a flooded area over here.
I believe that the flooded area might be worth checking.
これ一回やめておきますか。ちょ ちょうど1時間くらい。なんもいないよな。でさ、これオートセーブだよね。じゃあ一回これで終わり。ボリューム2パート2でまたお会いしましょう。バイバイ。